I am sharing some easy, delicious Pioneer Woman recipes today. You are not gonna wanna miss this. Hello, welcome to my channel. I am so glad you're here. I love Pioneer Woman recipes, don't you? This one has become a favorite of ours and we have made it many times. It is chicken enchiladas, but the marinade is what makes this recipe. For this recipe, you are going to need some boneless, skinless chicken breasts, which I have cut up for, fajita style. And then you need some lime juice, salt, pepper, ground cumin, crushed red pepper, Worcestershire, olive oil, minced garlic, and brown sugar. Since the move, I have not been able to find my bag holders, so I'm just gonna place the chicken in a bowl and it should stay open that way. Let's hope. I'm starting out by adding a 1/4 cup of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, 2 teaspoons each of cumin, and salt. I am only gonna do 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, and black pepper, and the juice of 2 limes. You can use fresh if you want. To finish this up, I'm adding 2 minced garlic cloves, which is 2 teaspoons in my book. I'm gonna give this a really good mix and I'm gonna set this in the refrigerator. For chicken, it's 2 to 8 hours of marinating. I have the chicken in my fry pan and I'm going to cook this up. I have my sous chef over here chopping up some peppers and eating them too, aren't you, Jason?
Just tried it.
I'm also chopping up peppers. We have some nice sweet Vidalia onion cut up. Jason, are you eating this too?
Yeah, I'll eat these.
You are?
Yeah.
Don't kiss me. I just added the peppers and the onions. I'm gonna break these onions up a little bit and I'm gonna let this cook in with the chicken. In the past, I have doubled the marinade and I use half of it for the chicken and then the other half I will pour over the vegetables and onions to give it that extra flavor, so that is definitely an option if you want to do that. After having this recipe, honestly, we do not even crave restaurant chicken fajitas anymore. I cannot say enough good about this recipe. You can make it with chicken or steak. I always make it with chicken, but it would be really good with steak too. If you're following Weight Watchers, all you have to do is count, of course, the tortillas and the cheese and all the extra things. But as far as the marinade, I would just count the olive oil and the brown sugar. I discovered this recipe last summer and I was so excited to share this one with you. It is a refrigerator homemade pickle. For this recipe, you are going to need some kosher salt, mustard seed, white wine vinegar, some scallions, 2 English cucumbers, and some fresh dill. I have used the pickling dill before too, and that is good, but we prefer just regular dill. For the cucumbers, I cut these pretty thin. The recipe says to cut them a 1/4 inch thick, because you're gonna try to get all of them into one ball jar. You need 2 scallions, the white parts only, and you are going to cut these very thinly. I am giving the dill a rough chop and I need 3 tablespoons of this. I also have 1 teaspoon of mustard seeds. I have those sitting right here because now we are going to start the layering process. To get everything to fit into this ball jar, you need to really pack it in. You need to pack it all over, up the sides, all over the bottom, and just keep squishing them in and packing them in. They eventually settle and it turns out great, but the packing process is just part of making these delicious pickles. I'm starting off with a layer of the cucumbers. I'm gonna sprinkle in a little bit of that dill, a few mustard seeds, and just a little bit of those scallions. I'm gonna continue the layering process, starting with cucumber, a little bit of mustard seed, dill, and some of those scallions. Now I'm sprinkling in 1½ teaspoons of kosher salt. And over everything is 2/3 cup of white wine vinegar. Then add enough cold water to cover all of the ingredients. Put the lid on and give it a shake. Make sure all of that stuff is mixed up. Then you want to let this sit in the refrigerator for up to 8 hours before eating. I cannot keep these in my refrigerator for very long. They are good for 2 weeks in the fridge and they just don't last. It is a really easy recipe, it's delicious, and if you're following Weight Watchers, it's 0 points. A good brisket is hard to come by. Well, this recipe makes an excellent brisket, and you're gonna get requests to make this often. The ingredients you need for this is a brisket, but we are using a roast because roast was half the price, if not more, of a brisket. You also need some garlic powder, ground mustard, black pepper. The recipe calls for kosher salt, but I'm gonna use regular salt, smoked paprika, chipotle chili peppers, and some light brown sugar. For the rub, you need 2 tablespoons of packed light brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of kosher salt, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of smoked paprika, 2 teaspoons of chipotle peppers, 2 teaspoons of black pepper, and 1 teaspoon of ground mustard. I'm gonna give this a stir, and we are gonna head over to the island. You wanna trim off some of the fat. Now Jason's taking that rub, and he's gonna rub this roast or brisket on both sides and on all 4 of the sides too. We want it coated really well. We wrapped it up in plastic wrap. I put 2 layers on each side, and now I am going to place that on a platter, and we are gonna let this sit in the refrigerator overnight. I have 1.5 cups of barbecue sauce in my bowl, and now I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire. I'm gonna give that a really good stir. I already have my insert to my crock pot sprayed. I'm gonna put a little bit of this sauce on the bottom of my crock pot. Adding the beef to my crock pot, it already smells so flavorful. I'm gonna give my hands a quick wash. Now I'm adding the rest of that barbecue sauce and Worcestershire. I'm gonna set my crock pot on low and let it go for the day for about 8 to 10 hours. I'm including a picture here. We put the roast on the grill. My camera steamed up immediately from the humidity that's out there. But at this point, after it's done cooking in the crock pot, you can put it on the grill for a little bit, or you can put it under the broiler. Brisket is really super expensive right now. It ranges from $40 to $100. So this time we had made it with a roast. It didn't make much of a difference between the meats. I guess roast is like the poor man's brisket, but that's okay. I'm not paying $100. And it turned out just as good as when I had made it with the brisket. Every time we have this recipe, we're like, oh my goodness, we need to make this more often. It makes a really good sandwich, or you can just make it as is. If you're following Weight Watchers, I would just count the barbecue sauce. You have got to make at least one of these this week. All the recipes are down below. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon. Hey, you don't have to stop watching my videos. Here are 2 more for you to enjoy.